Hey, everybody, it's the Amanda Seales Show. I'm Amanda Seales, and I'm here with my favorite Black historian, Ms. Kimberly Renee, to bring up some old ish. So listen close. Let's learn something.
For sure. So today, Amanda, we are still diving into student protests as promised.
Yes.
And specifically, we're talking about one that was led by a 16-year-old girl who pretty much single-handedly initiated a strike and organized her entire student body to join in. And so she was protesting the substandard conditions at her school, Robert Russell Moton High in Farmville, Virginia. So with that information, is any of that familiar? Maybe know her name, anything like that?
No, none of it.
Okay.
Now that you say that, you're going to be like, you do know her name. It's Beyonce.
You might. You do have to be right. Her name is Barbara Johns. Have you heard of Barbara Johns?
I've heard that name, yes. I have heard the name Barbara Johns.
Yes. So Barbara Johns was born March 6, 1935 in New York. Her family actually moved up there during the Great Depression to find work. And they eventually came down to Prince Edward County, Virginia, and that's where Barbara went to school. And so Barbara Johns actually had a lot of great influences in her life. In fact, her uncle was a civil rights leader, Reverend Vernon Johns. Now, fun fact about Reverend Johns is that he pastored Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. He was the minister that pastored that church before Martin Luther King pastored that church. That was Martin Luther King's first official full-time pastorate. Okay, so back to Barbara. So she's in high school, and the conditions of her school are egregious. So let's just start with some simple things. I mean, the labs were trash. Okay,
naturally.
They were studying from old books. So the books that had been used up and torn up from the white kids, they gave them to the black kids. But it gets so much worse. The schools did not have heat. So they were so cold that the teachers would actually take the classes into the school buses so they could turn on the bus and get some heat for them. The school itself was constructed with tar paper, which we only use really now on roofs. And some of the schools in her district did not have restroom facilities. Can you imagine? What are you supposed to do with that?
How am I supposed to skip class if there's no restroom? What? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with all of these issues, the families in the area went to Prince Edward School Board, but they got ignored. And so on April 23rd, 1951, under Barbara's direction, the principal of Moton High was lured off campus. All the students were brought into the auditorium, and they got the teachers to leave. And so Barbara spoke up, and little Miss Barbara convinced her class to say, we're going to walk out until they construct us a whole new school.
Oh.
So here's what's fun. It was this protest that actually led to a court case that everybody knows. Brown versus Board of Education.
Separate but equal.
So this was one of the 5 cases that the Supreme Court reviewed in association with this. So the NAACP affiliated lawyers actually heard about what Barbara was doing, and they were like, she's dope. So can we help? And at first they were like, well, we're not trying to integrate. We just want our schools to be separate and equal.
Right.
And they were like, yeah, but our plans are segregation is illegal. We need to integrate. So as long as you keep striking, as long as you're cool with what we're trying to do, we're going to put it together. And so that's how it went from just being equality of segregated schools, is what Barbara was fighting for, to then it kind of being looped into that. And so Barbara's name was actually kept off the case. Her parents sent her down south to live with her family because after the strike and the case... Yeah, they wanted to protect her because people were not very happy about what was going on. The students were being threatened, their families were being threatened. But eventually this court case, as you know, led to the desegregation of public high schools. Barbara later went to Spelman, and she passed in 1991.
Wow. That, again, Hidden Figures. Like when I think about the amount of movies that we see made about absolute nonsense, I'm like, can we make this movie? Can we?
Actually, I have a friend who's working on it.
Thank you, friend. Work it out. Yes. Make the film. Make it. And thank you so much for always bringing up old Ish. You know, we need it, y'all. We need to know the past to understand what's happening in the present to change the future. I can say this till I'm blue in the face. All right. Keep it locked right here to the Amanda Seales Show. Oh, actually, Kimberly, where can people get more of this fabulous information that you share?
Of course. So you can connect with me on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at It's Kimberly Renee, and at my website, KimberlyRenee.com.
There you have it. We'll be right back to the Amanda Seales Show. We are